Hello, everyone. I'm Zero CEO and President Jamie Burse, and welcome to our special Giving Tuesday coverage right here on Facebook. Throughout the day, we'll introduce you to prostate cancer patients who are on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis. We'll also talk to survivors, caregivers, and doctors about how this pandemic has changed their lives. Most importantly, you'll be learning about the Zero COVID-19 Support Fund, a fund dedicated to helping prostate cancer patients during these trying times. And when you donate to this fund today, your gift is doubled, allowing Zero to help more men and their families. So please go ahead and donate right here on Facebook or at zerocancer.org. And if you have any questions at all about Zero's programs, please leave them in the comments below. And now Zero's special Giving Tuesday coverage continues right now.
Mical Roy is a passionate advocate for early detection. His message is extremely personal because at the young age of 37, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Today, Mical is a survivor, a champion for prostate cancer education, and a valued member of the Zero family. Hi, Mical. Thank you so much for joining us from your home in Austin today on Giving Tuesday. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm glad to be here with you.
Nice. So we just saw each other at the Zero Summit in February. Can you believe how quickly our world has changed? How are you and your family doing?
We're doing, at this point, we're in a groove because we've been doing this now for like a month and a half. So just being home every day. So we're kind of learning how to make the day move along and break up the day, like going out for walks, try to go out for like twice a day or maybe go ride bikes. But we just try to remain positive about it because, it could be better, but it could always be worse, so that's the way we choose to think of it.
So now you are one of now our Zero mentors, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But I think our viewers want to know and hear more about your journey to Zero. So tell us a little bit about your diagnosis.
So I like to think of myself, my doctors always tell me I'm like the odd case. I was diagnosed when I was 37. Oddly, just going to my annual doctor visit, just went for my doctor visit. And the thing about this visit was it was my first time visiting this doctor since my family and I moved to Austin. So, there was a lot of information that she had to gather from me. And a part of that was asking about cancer in my family history. And at that time, I knew that the cancer that I knew about, none of it was prostate. However, because I was 37 and because I'm a African-American man, she chose to test my prostate levels, which I'm grateful for because at that time I never had any symptoms, not one time. I wouldn't even know what the symptoms are, but so, it didn't bother me that she wanted to do the PSA test. I thought that's great. I was positive about it. So she did all my blood work, and the only thing that came back with a concern to her was my PSA levels. And that was my first time ever having my PSA level checked. Prior to that, my understanding was you had to be 40 or older, or that was the suggestion. So I was fine with doing it. And then, the test came back and she told me that my levels were a little high and it concerned her. So she put me on antibiotics for 30 days. My levels didn't come down enough. So she put me on another round of antibiotics. And when she tested again after that second round, my levels went up higher than they were initially. So at that point, she told me, you know what, we should I'm going to send you to a urologist. And from there, I had the biopsy. And keep in mind, this whole time, I never got nervous. I never got concerned because I didn't have any symptoms. And I felt like I'm pretty in tune with my body. And I thought that I would surely know if I had cancer of any sort. At least that's what I thought. So I went to have the biopsy done, and on November the 1st, 2018, that's when I found out that I had, at that time, they told me it was stage 1. But I ended up finding out after I had my prostate removed on June 13, 2019, that it was actually an aggressive stage 2. So I actually arrived at Zero. I'm a member of the Austin area of Urban League Young Professionals, and a young woman that I work with, a part of the health and wellness committee for that organization, knew Tracy and thought, because I had we had a meeting and I had told the organization that I had been diagnosed. You know, my thing was I never minded sharing my story. Like I never was embarrassed about it. I felt like, you know, there's so many other men. And initially I thought it was just a Black man thing, but they're just men in general who need to see another guy who doesn't look like the typical guy, you know, when we think about prostate cancer, to really maybe get their attention. So I just always felt this urge to just tell in any platform that I could. And that's how I got connected with Tracy. And the rest is history, as they say. But I'm so glad to be here serving in any capacity. I feel blessed that I can be able to share my story and that I can be so positive about it, because I know it's not always that way for a lot of men. But I feel it's almost like a spiritual thing for me doing this. So I'm grateful for the opportunity in any capacity.
Yeah, we're so thankful that you're willing to share your story with so many people.
Yes.
So, you know, with everything going on right now, do you ever think, you know, what would my life have been like if I was diagnosed today during the COVID-19 outbreak?
Wow. I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I've actually been talking to guys that I actually mentor here locally, and they've all said to me like, wow, I'm just so grateful that, you know, we got this taken care of prior to, you know. So I know that there are men who are going through it right now. So my prayers goes out to them, because that's doubly compacted, having to deal with this and having to try to get yourself taken care of with regards to the cancer. So I want to believe I would still be as positive as I am now, because I feel like at the end of the day, that's all we have left. You know, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, just like COVID happened, anything. It could be anything, and that's a sad reality, but that's the reality. And if you don't have a faith of some sort and something to keep you positive in some way, then, you know, you have to have that at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't mean that I don't get nervous. It doesn't mean that I don't get sad or that I don't have my moments. But like I always tell people, I just choose not to sit there. I just choose not to sit in that space. To just, you know, you just have to look up and thank God for what's around you and what you do have. You know, yeah, I'm stuck at home and I've been here for over 30 days, but at least I'm here with my family, and at least I get to see my kids every day. You know, it could always be better, but it could always be a lot worse. And I just choose to think of everything in that way.
Very true. Very true. So like I mentioned earlier, you've been trained for our mentor program. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit, tell our viewers about this program.
I just went through rigorous training to be a zero mentor. And it's offering me the ability to mentor men on a much larger capacity. So I have the opportunity to connect with men all over the country. And that's something that's really exciting. And for men out there who don't have anyone that you can talk to personally, you know, because when I was diagnosed, I also didn't have anyone. And so that's why for me, mentoring is such a big deal, because it can make such a difference, be able to talk to another man, number one, somebody that you can connect with who understands, because they went through this same thing. Because, you know, like as close as my wife and I are, she doesn't understand. She hasn't, you know, so you need someone who really understands because they went through it. And it's important, you know. I think that would be the best avenue for you to reach out to Zero, so that you can get a mentor, someone you can connect with on whatever level. You know, if you want to talk to someone every day, or if you just need to talk one time, sometimes that's all it takes. It's there, and it's a great tool for someone being mentored, and for a person like myself being a mentor. Because for me, when I get to help another man, it's just something that I can't even describe, to be able to know that I have a hand in helping him feel better about something that he has to get taken care of. So, you know, for men out there who are wondering, who are going through this, or who may end up going through this at some point, or who know a man who's going through this, please reach out to Zero and connect with the Zero Mentor Program, and see how we can be of use for you, how we can serve you.
Thank you. So today is Giving Tuesday, and we're trying to raise $25,000 for the Zero COVID-19 Support Fund. So this fund will allow us to reach more men in our mentor program during this outbreak. What's your message to someone thinking about donating right now?
The donations, this is the way that we get to do the things that you see happening with Zero. We thrive off of donations. This is the way we get to have the possibility to expand, to reach more men in areas that we previously hadn't. So just know that if you're thinking about donating, you're on the fence about whether you should or shouldn't, Zero is an organization where you're always going to see your dollars at work. You won't have to wonder where your money is going. There's so many ways to connect to Zero on so many different platforms, and please do that so that you can stay informed, and you will see continuously the ways that we are using the dollars that you've chosen to invest with Zero. So don't think about it too long. It's a great choice.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for being with us on this Giving Tuesday. You and your family stay safe and stay Zero strong.
Thank you. Thank you so much.